Greetings to the retiree class of 2020 and welcome to your celebration. I am Dr. Shania Suggs, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, and it is my distinct honor to congratulate you on this milestone. Typically, my office staff and I would be planning for an evening of fellowship and commemoration of your time as a Wayne employee. Instead, we've created a keepsake that I hope you will cherish for years to come. Your decision to bring your talents to Wayne Township and support the children of our district has been a gift that cannot be measured. We just want you to know that it is because of you that we provide a top-notch education and have a culture of caring that permeates all aspects of our district. Thank you for your time and efforts over the years. And don't be mistaken, you'll be missed by many, but we are so very happy for you and wish you well in retirement. Now, enjoy the Wayne Township Schools Retirement Celebration 2020.
Good evening. My name is Brandon Bowman, and it's been my privilege to serve as the president of your Board of Education for the school year 2019-2020. This is a special group of retirees for me, as many of you had the opportunity to have me in your classroom or in your building as I made my way through Wayne Township as a student. Believe me, I'm just as shocked as you are that I'm addressing you in this capacity today, but to some extent, it's your fault, and I couldn't be more thankful. I'm truly humbled to be sitting in this chair, addressing this group of amazing educators and classified support staff in the MSD of Wayne Township. I would much rather be addressing you in person this evening, enjoying a nice meal, shaking hands, eating a piece of celebratory cake, and handing out your retirement awards. However, the pandemic has us in a different situation. So, you've served in your capacity or you've been engaged in your career for potentially 4 decades, 40 years. So I wanted to give you a snapshot of some things that happened 40 years ago in 1980. In 1980, the Rubik's Cube was introduced. Although it was designed and ready to be introduced for Christmas of 1979, the developer insisted that they wait for a 1980 release party to make it part of the new decade with some advances in technologies, toys, and entertainment moving forward. Also in 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted, Pac-Man debuted, 83 million people tuned in to see Who Shot JR on the television show Dallas. I have to be honest, I still don't know who shot JR, but that number was staggering, so I'll be tuning in this evening on some streaming platform to see who it was. And later in the year, the world mourned as we lost John Lennon tragically. I wanted to share those things with you to hopefully trigger some fond memories of where you were at as you began your career, whether it was in education or in another capacity, possibly in another school corporation. Maybe this is a second or third career for you. Whatever your pathway has been, I'm sure you probably remember exactly where you were, what you were doing at some of those points in 1980. I shared that with you because it's important for us to recognize and acknowledge that every year has milestones like that. And although 2020 has been off to a rough start, hopefully when we reflect back on this, the COVID-19 pandemic will be just another milestone, a bump in the road that we can all remember. Certainly we don't want to make light of it, want to acknowledge the devastation that it's caused, the lives that have been lost. But hopefully, as we look back, this will be in our rear view, far behind us, and we can focus on the next major milestones in the years to come. So I also wanted to share those things because for me, milestones like that do trigger memories, most of them very happy. And I want you to reflect on 2020, and I want you to remember your time in the MSD of Wayne Township through the COVID-19 pandemic, not as the devastating year where we weren't able to finish the school year with students in our classrooms, but as a year, particularly this last semester, a semester of great accomplishment. In MSD of Wayne Township alone, we've prepared and distributed tens of thousands of meals to children and families in our community. We've overcome socioeconomic hurdles to get children engaged in remote learning, to make sure that our students stay on track for on-time graduation, that credits are being earned, that primary students are completing work and being proficiently prepared to move on to the next grade. Our schools are all cleaned and sanitized and ready for staff and students to return when we're able. Our bus fleet is in impeccable shape, ready to gather students and get them picked up at home, delivered to their school buildings safely. There's been a lot of accomplishment looking back on this past semester, and it's something we could all be proud of. We all should be proud of, and I can't thank you enough for your part in that, no matter what your role has been in our school district. You may remember last school year, Dr. Butts challenged us all to identify our why. Why is it we do what we do on a daily basis? What is it that makes our work purposeful and impactful? And for me, that was a great help in my professional and personal life as I moved through the past school year, just to reflect on some personal notes that I'd taken, to identify goals, to really focus on why it is I do what I'm doing on a daily basis. Today, I want to challenge you to shift gears and think about the why you're going to have in retirement. I certainly want you to enjoy the travel, take that trip, play the golf, enjoy extra time with the grandkids, read all the books that you want to, get your relaxation in, you've earned it, but eventually that relaxation is going to run its cycle and you're going to want another purpose, another why. So I'm challenging you to identify, why is it you worked so hard all these years to get to this milestone of retirement? What are some things you want to accomplish in this next chapter in your life? And hopefully you can look back on your time in Wayne Township and enjoy it. You've earned the right. You were always a Wayne Township Ben Davis Giant. Congratulations. On behalf of the school board, I can't thank you enough. We appreciate everything that you do, and I look forward to a time where hopefully we can do this in person. I get to see each and every one of you, greet you, and thank you for your time and dedication you've put into serving our children and our community. Words could never be enough to express how meaningful your work has been. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Enjoy retirement. And if you get bored, reach out to Dr. Butts, get on our website, find out how you can become a host mentor, come in for an hour a week and help a primary student learn how to read. It's meaningful work. It's thankful work. The appreciation the children show is just phenomenal. You'll enjoy it. Trust me, you'll love it. Again, congratulations. Enjoy your time. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Our honored retirees include Mamube Ayatollah Zadeh. Ms. Ayatollah Zadeh is retiring from Garden City Elementary as a school psychologist. She has 19 and a half years of service, 11 years in Wayne. Penny Busick Mullins. Miss Busick Mullins is retiring from Ben Davis High School as a paraprofessional. She has 17 years of service in Wayne. Tammy Butts. Mrs. Butts is retiring from Education Center as a host lead teacher. She has 31 years of service and 14 in Wayne. Judy Kane. Ms. Kane is retiring from Ben Davis High School as a teacher. She has 36 years of service and 18 of those in Wayne. Randall Carlton. Mr. Carlton is retiring from Wayne Township Transportation as a mechanic. He has 32 years of service, all in Wayne.
Cynthia Copestick. Ms. Copestick is retiring from McClellan Elementary as a teacher. She has 42 years of service, 19 years in Wayne. Lori Dombrowski. Ms. Dombrowski is retiring from Stoutfield Elementary as a secretary. She has 22 and a half years of service, all in Wayne. Joan Doran. Ms. Doran is retiring from Chapel Hill 7th and 8th grade center in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 18 and a half years of service, all of those being in Wayne. David Ellison. Mr. Ellison is retiring from Ben Davis High School as a teacher. He has 30 years of service, 28 years in Wayne. Terry Freund. Ms. Freund is retiring from Stoutfield Elementary in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 20 and a half years of service, all in Wayne.
Deborah Gillihan. Ms. Gillihan is retiring from Westlake Elementary as a child nutrition manager. She has 35 and a half years of service, all in Wayne. Sherry Gramer. Ms. Gramer is retiring from Ben Davis High School as a teacher. She has 33 years of service and 32 of those in Wayne. Brenda Griffin. Ms. Griffin is retiring from Garden City Elementary in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 14 and a half years of service in Wayne. Melissa Hendricks. Ms. Hendricks is retiring from Ben Davis 9th Grade Center as a teacher. She has 23 years of service and 21 of those in Wayne. Kathleen Hodson. Ms. Hodson is retiring from Chapel Hill 7th and 8th Grade Center as a school nurse. She has 14 and a half years of service in Wayne.
Kimberly Howard. Ms. Howard is retiring from Wayne Township Adult Education as a secretary. She has 21 years of service in Wayne. Michael Hufford. Mr. Hufford is retiring from Wayne Township Transportation as a bus driver. He has 10 years of service, all in Wayne. Vernon Johnson. Mr. Johnson is retiring from Rhodes Elementary as a head custodian. He has 33 and a half years of service in Wayne. Diamond Jordan. Ms. Jordan is retiring from Wayne Township Transportation as a bus monitor. She has 20 years of service in Wayne Township. Marva Kelman. Ms. Kelman is retiring from Bridgeport Elementary in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 12 years of service in Wayne.
Brenda Krebs. Ms. Krebs is retiring from Chapel Hill 7th and 8th Grade Center as a media specialist. She has 32 years of service, all in Wayne. Stephen Loy. Mr. Loy is retiring from Stoutfield Elementary as a teacher. He has 29 years of service in Wayne. Dawn Martin. Ms. Martin is retiring from Sanders School as a teacher. She has 21 years of service and 17 of those in Wayne. Dewana McCalmont. Ms. McCalmont is retiring from Chapel Hill 7th and 8th Grade Center as a teacher. She has 29 years of service and 24 years in Wayne. Katrina Michael. Ms. Michael is retiring from Roby Elementary as an occupational therapist. She has 34 years of service and 18 of those in Wayne.
Carrie Midkiff. Ms. Midkiff is retiring from Chapelwood Elementary as a child nutrition manager. She has 18 and a half years of service, all in Wayne. Nancy Miller. Ms. Miller is retiring from Chapel Hill 7th and 8th Grade Center as a teacher. She has 16 years of service, 11 years in Wayne. Susan Nance. Ms. Nance is retiring from Bridgeport Elementary as a deaf and hard of hearing interpreter. She has 18 years of service in Wayne. Jennifer Knoll. Ms. Knoll is retiring from Bridgeport Elementary as a teacher. She has 30 and a half years of service, with 15 of those being in Wayne. Barbara Parker. Ms. Parker is retiring from Maplewood Elementary in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 25 years of service in Wayne.
Judith Rayner. Ms. Rayner is retiring from Maplewood Elementary in the Child Nutrition Department. She has 31 years of service in Wayne. Mark Smith. Mr. Smith is retiring from Ben Davis 9th Grade Center as a teacher. He has 40 years of service, all in Wayne. Carl Stillwell. Mr. Stillwell is retiring from Ben Davis University High School as a teacher. He has 26 years of service in Wayne. Charlene Tingle. Ms. Tingle is retiring from Wayne Township Transportation as a bus driver. She has 13 years of service in Wayne.
William Underwood. Mr. Underwood is retiring from Rhodes Elementary as a custodian. He has 18 and a half years of service in Wayne. Scott E. Williams. Mr. Williams is retiring from Ben Davis High School as a teacher. He has 38 years of service, 37 years in Wayne. David Wilson. Mr. Wilson is retiring from Ben Davis 9th Grade Center as a teacher. He has 10 years of service in Wayne Township. Phyllis Wilson. Ms. Wilson is retiring from Maplewood Elementary as a teacher. She has 42 years of service, with 39 of those years in Wayne.
First of all, congratulations to all of our retirees. This is certainly not the beginning of your retirement that you had expected. I've observed this personally since my wife Tammy is among you. And it's definitely not the way we thought we would be celebrating your careers and the difference you have made in the lives of our students, staff, and the Wayne community. Who would have ever thought that your retirement celebration would be held through Zoom? Or that your retirement dinner would be virtual? I was recently asked by an agency in Michigan, what makes Wayne Township so special? Well, when Tammy and I arrived in Wayne 14 years ago, we realized very quickly what makes this place so special. It's the people. 3 groups of people I would like to thank specifically include our Board of Education, the Wayne Township Classroom Teachers Association, and the Superintendent's Cabinet. This year, we are celebrating the careers of 35 retirees who have dedicated over 906 years of service, 785 of those to our children and our community. And while we are so very happy for what lies ahead of you in your next chapter of life, please know that you will be deeply missed and will leave a gap that must be filled by your departure. I'd also be remiss if I did not thank your family members who have made so many sacrifices over the years so you could be your very best for the MSD of Wayne. I've told this story many times and I apologize if you have already heard it. Nearly 7 years ago, my 2 brothers and I flew to Florida to surprise my father on his 70th birthday. It was a wonderful opportunity to see him and to spend time with his students. Yes, you heard me correctly. My father was still teaching at the age of 70. However, I should also let you know that he did not begin teaching until he was 55. A few months later, my father decided to announce he was going to retire at the age of 75. Then last summer, he informed me that he had decided to go 1 more year past the age of 76, almost to 77. So last April, he signed an extension to his contract for 1 more year. At that time, I thought for sure my father would never retire. However, this past December, his school threw a surprise retirement celebration for him under the guise of a faculty meeting. Interestingly enough, since my father's prep time was the last block of the day, he had planned to skip that meeting, his last faculty meeting. Fortunately, his department convinced him that inventory needed to be completed and he had to attend that meeting. Thank goodness they did, because this celebration was something right out of Mr. Holland's opus. My brothers and I had all flown down for the day, literally, and past students from all over the country had drove in and flown in to say thank you. I've never seen my father so moved. And it reminded me that we don't often take the time to thank those that have made the biggest impact in our lives, that have made the greatest difference. I had that opportunity several years ago when I was standing at a Barnes & Noble in my hometown. Staying in front of me was a shorter, older gentleman that I recognized. I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, "Mr. Smith, my name is Jeff Butts. I was in your Algebra 2 class." Mr. Smith acknowledged that he remembered who I was, whether he did or not. I went on to share with Mr. Smith that math was not always the easiest class for me, but he made it much easier because of the great teacher that he was. And it was in Mr. Smith's class my junior year that I decided I was going to be a teacher. And I shared with Mr. Smith that because of him, that was the path that I chose. And as a result, I am now a superintendent in the state of Indiana. Mr. Smith began to weep because it was at that time that he realized the difference that he had made, at least to this student, in my life, and had validated a career that he had worked so hard perfecting. It is safe to say that each of you have different plans as you shift or have shifted from living at work and begin working at living. In fact, some of our retirees have literally finished their career working where you are living. Wow. As you look forward, I hope that you make every day the very best day and can begin to check off the items on your bucket list. Whenever your retirement became official, your tenure here will forever be a reminder of the greatness that can be achieved in this place the greatness that can be achieved because of this place, and the greatness that is this place. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you have done for our children to make our schools great in this great community. You will always be Wayne. Congratulations and be well.